Aliko Dangote is the richest African on the planet. The title he's held for over a decade. But what struck me as strange after looking into his history was how he dumped all his money in one place. I mean, why? And most importantly, where is he dumping all this money? That's gotta be bad financially, right? Okay, let's get into it. Now, to effectively answer these questions, we first have to look briefly at his history.
Let's talk about how you made this amount of money, which is by far the largest amount of money that any individual has in Africa.
Dangote was born into the Dantata family in Kano State, Nigeria. His maternal great-grandfather being Alhaji Alhassan Dantata, the richest West African in the 1940s. This is a family worth over $1 billion over 60 years ago. If I should adjust these values with respect to inflation, well, that's a lot of purchasing power we have right there. So yeah, bottom line, he was a rich kid. Why I'm gearing towards his maternal relations is because he lost his biological father at 8 years old. It was his maternal grandfather, Sanusi Dantata, son of Alhaji Alhassan Dantata, who raised him. Now, this guy made a name for himself also in the 50s and in the 60s as one of the richest Nigerians. His major business is being selling of grains and foodstuffs. Part of this money will be used to train his grandson, Aliko, all through basic education. Now, during this period, naturally, Aliko became drawn to the family business. This was a boy who would buy sweets at a cheaper rate, carry them to school in a school bag, and sell them for profit to his classmates.
If he did that now, they will call him a Yahoo boy.
But we can begin to see the level he was operating on. This will continue till he eventually graduated from secondary school, and his father would enroll him in Al-Azhar University in Egypt, where he would study business for 4 years. On graduation, he would quickly take a loan of $3,000 from his sponsor, Sanusi. This was where I discovered his first philosophy.
Somebody said that, yes, you know, I always think big. I know how aggressive I am.
This was a kid who already had some sort of cash to his name just by virtue of being born. He could easily have sat back and inherited his uncle's wealth, but no, he wanted to make a name for himself. And guess what? 3 months after that, he repaid the entire $3,000 loan. Okay, let me put it in perspective. Now, this was a 21-year-old who repaid a $3,000 loan in the 60s. With this, we can begin arranging the pieces of the cake. But wait, there's more.
In 1977, Dangote would have founded the Dangote Group, a corporation who majorly dealt in bulk commodity trading as a result of the liberalized commodity import with the Nigerian government at that time, which basically halved the cost of imported goods. So the Dangote Group imported foreign goods like sugar, rice, cement, and fertilizer and sold them for profit, just as how generic businessmen do nowadays. But get this, in the early 2000s, his entire business strategy changed. That's where I discovered his second business philosophy.
If you are going into any business, you must understand the business A to Z. Any business that I don't understand it well, I don't do it.
Here's a very important historical event. In 1999, the Nigerian military regime ended and power was handed over to the civilian rule. This came along with new privatization policies. Now, this made Aliko and the Dangote Group rethink their business strategy. What products will profit most from this new economy? They finally arrived at cement, because with the new policies of the Nigerian government, new businesses will begin to emerge. Infrastructures will need to be built. And what's the raw material that is necessary for that? Cement.
Look at cement. Cement is what builds infrastructure, and we need a lot of infrastructural deficit.
The second phase of his new strategy was the acquisition and integration of cement industries like the Benue State Cement Company they acquired from the federal government in 2000, and the Huooge Cement PLC they obtained from the Kogi State government in 2002, allowing them to switch from bulk commodity trade to full-scale manufacturing of cement by 2007. When they commissioned the Huooge cement industry, it was said to be able to produce about 5 million tons of cement per annum, making it the largest in sub-Saharan Africa. In 2020, this same company, now known as Dangote Cement, is estimated to be worth $2.7 billion.
The grand scope is that none of this would have been possible if not for one important factor: Nigeria.
The economy, resources and raw materials that Nigeria possesses is what allowed Aliko Dangote to achieve this level of success. He's done the exact same thing with his sugar industry, fertilizer industry. Even most of his non-Nigerian companies are subsidiaries of the Nigerian-based ones. That's the reason he will continue to dump all his money on Nigerian investments. In 2016, Dangote began building a $13 billion refinery in Lagos, Nigeria. His most ambitious and risk-filled project ever.
$13 billion.
Yes.
And this means you are betting everything. You're betting your share on this. Correct?
Well, I'm betting quite a lot, yes.
You're betting quite a lot.
Quite a lot, no.
And he can confidently say this because he's an aggressive businessman. He's done his market research and he's 99.9% sure that he will make a shitload of money from this investment.
When complete, this oil refinery will be one of the biggest in the whole world. And honestly, I feel that's just the beginning.
To keep convincing people to come and invest in Nigeria. And I keep telling people that, look, Nigeria is the best kept secret.
Subscribe, I beg.